To another reaction video. Today we are reacting to I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like a trailer, uh, maybe a more like a video, I guess. So Ubisoft just dropped this in 2 hours ago. It's called Assassin's Creed Mirage, Basim the Master Assassin. So it's going to be more like a video dedicated to Basim. Try to explain. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Is it more story related or not? But the last time we saw Ubisoft, it was the story reveal trailer, and not a lot was revealed about the story. It felt like a very more generic story. We're still not sure. Um, the, we know the overall plot. It seems like Basim seems to be like this thief who gets recruited by the assassins, and then they're setting up the assassins order to fight the Order of the Templars or the or the cult or whatever. But there's nothing. It doesn't seem like it's personal to him, or for now it does. That's what it seems like. So story wise, it was alright, and the gameplay trailer, um, it had a few good points, and then there were a few negative ones. Um, in my opinion, like they look negative to me. Like the positives from the gameplay, what I saw was that it seems like they're doing their best to go back to the roots of Assassin's Creed, and they have a lot more stuff to do in the game. But that was always the case. But this kind of like feels like it's all revolving more around like more like assassinations, more stealth gameplay. It seems like they're trying to reward stealth gameplay a bit more rather than you trying to go all out. We don't know. We'll see if that changes or not. And there was this new mechanic they introduced, kind of like a it lets you target multiple enemies and take them down in an instance, but I'm not a fan of this whole flash and dash teleporting stuff. It doesn't fit in well with the whole assassin gimmick, right? um, so nonetheless, we're going to check this video out and see what else are they going to reveal basically. Basim the master.
Basim is our main protagonist in Assassin's Creed Mirage. He's a fascinating character, one that fits the mold of classic assassin, deadly and resourceful with a complex personality. For that reason, we felt that Mirage needed to be a strong narrative-driven experience, one that would honor Basim as a character, surprise our players, and take them on a memorable adventure.
A new playable hero,
We
okay,
first
fine.
met Basim during the events of AC Valhalla. Having traveled from the Middle East to England, he acted as a mentor figure for Ivor. But Basim had motives of his own, and his past was shrouded in mystery.
We knew early on that we wanted to explore a setting that was reminiscent of the first Assassin's Creed game. So naturally, we made the connection between the Golden Age of Baghdad and Basim. It was a great opportunity to
So it's
show
in
some of
Baghdad.
the events that came to define him as a person.
Golden Age of Baghdad. Becoming the assassin.
Mirage is a completely fresh story. You can start the game without having played Valhalla or any of the other titles. But of course, for our most dedicated fan, there will be a lot of secrets, Easter eggs, and connections with past games and the overall lore of the series.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is set in 861 AD, 12 years before the events of Valhalla. We meet Basim in his youth, making a living as a thief on the streets of Anbar, near Baghdad, alongside his best friend and partner in crime, Nehal. As far back as he can remember, Basim has been haunted by visions and nightmares that he's been unable to understand. He's come to question who he is and where he belongs. Much to Nehal's frustration, Basim believes his destiny lies among the hidden ones.
Basim ends up at Alamut, the renowned assassin home base that at that time was still under construction. It's here that he learns the way of the assassins and becomes one of the hidden ones. Soon, he's tasked with tracking down the Order in Baghdad, kickstarting his life-changing journey.
Creating the character of Basim in Mirage was an interesting challenge. Having met him as an older man in Valhalla, we had to imagine what he would have been like in his younger years. Everybody in the team is a long-time AC fan. That's why it was so important for us to bring back that Levantine assassin look to Basim's
They're acting like
Crafting
Basim
new
is supposed to be
visuals
like an
and
OG,
stories
but
around an existing
he's not.
character poses a unique challenge. It gives us
The
room for
OGs are
nods to other
Altair,
entries in the
Ezio,
series, pushes
them.
us to respect our legacy, while offering something fresh and exciting for players. After becoming a hidden one, Basim inherits the apprentice outfit, a white robe with blue shades, and a small beaked hood. We found opportunities to connect Mirage to the wider franchise, such as the red sash wrapped around Basim's arm in Valhalla. In Mirage, we learned that it was a symbol of the rebellion, an item worn by many of our side characters, and something Basim chose to keep with him years later. There are several levels of conflicts in our story, from the one in the city arising from the Zend rebellion to Basim's internal conflict as he's torn between his roots and his destiny, between his old friends like Nehal and his new comrades like Roshan and the Brotherhood. As Basim fights to free Baghdad from the Order's oppression, he begins to ask questions about himself, his past, and the meaning of freedom.
The story of Mirage
Okay, I
follows
guess
Basim's
there's some
evolution
play
from
there
apprentice
with the
to monk,
story.
a journey that is reflected in the game systems. There is no XP-based progression in Mirage, instead progression is linear and story-driven. As you follow the story and complete missions, your rank increases within the Brotherhood, giving you new opportunities for missions, outfits, and tools. We have new tools that can be upgraded and customized for Basim.
Okay, we need to pause it right there. So what they said was, it's no longer an XP progression system. It is a linear story-driven progression system. So that means as you progress in the story, more and more. So as you progress in the story, more and more, of your abilities, your skills will level up. Mm, how do I feel about that? I mean, like, it's okay, right? It feels like as you're climbing in the ranks of the Brotherhood, you get more abilities and stuff. It's okay. It's all right. I mean, I'm trying to like, I'm trying to think whether there's a downside to it, but I guess it helps, right? It kind of like prevents the whole uh, players being too OP until the last battle kind of a thing, right? You make sure that you're strictly like within a certain power arc, I would say, so that by the time you get to the last missions, like you don't exactly like ace through them or something like that, right? So it kind of like ensures that the level of difficulty is still there, is still maintained, because in a lot of RPG games, like I'm very infamous, quite infamous for doing this. I do all the side quests, everything. By the time I come back to the main story, I'm too OP, and I just pretty much it's just cakewalk right through it. So like this is interesting. I've like a lot of games have done these kind of things, and I guess I think the last Assassin's Creed game to do this was one, I think, because after that they went into a whole progression system, right? Or maybe two. No, I think one was, yeah. You got your weapons, your abilities over time. Yeah, so I don't mind them doing this. It feels okay. It feels all right.
Giving him a deadly and effective assassin's toolset. When fully upgraded, these tools can allow for some interesting and unexpected gameplay strategies.
We crafted a range of different outfits for Basim, so you can make the character feel personal to you. We're also bringing back a fan favorite feature, Outfit Dye, which you can use to change the colors of certain outfits just like you could in AC2 or Brotherhood.
Combat has been
Okay,
revamped as
yeah,
well,
that's fine.
with new moves and mechanics built specifically for Basim. Much like Altair, Basim's primary combat tools are his sword and dagger. For the animation team,
Yeah, right.
our goal was to create an agile master assassin who is as elegant as is deadly.
An assassin focus allows you to slow down time and perform a deadly kill streak. But be careful, you'll want to pay attention to where you will end your last move to avoid unexpected fights.
Okay, so the outfit customization is fine. That's all handy dandy. That's not an issue. The combat system, I'm quite very interested in the combat system because you fight with a sword and dagger. So thank goodness, they are stopping the whole that you can carry two shields, two weapons, a spear, like all sorts of insane weapon combinations, which are which was really not the whole, which is totally far from being an assassin, right? So you're sticking to your primary weapon set, sword, dagger, hidden blade, stuff like that, which is fine. So and it seems like you can only use your dagger, and it's fine. Like, I just want to know, like, I hope there's a, I hope they make the combat system as frustrating as possible. Like, if you get into combat and you are on point with your parries, and you're really good, and you get out of there, that's fine. But what I really want them to do here is to make this combat system as frustrating as possible, because I want them players to resort to stealth as much as they can, right? Because stealth needs to be rewarded in this game. It needs to be the ultimate luxury, is what I'm trying to say. uh, it just needs to feel like a proper, it's like Hitman, right? I've been saying this over and over again. Hitman always rewards stealth. You get more opportunities as you wander around, discover the region. You get more, you know you get, like, you just open a whole lot of avenues, right, in order to get your objective as you maintain your stealth. So that's what I want them to do here, to figure that formula out, right? So to reward stealth as much as can, and and do not reward combat, right? Combat should be as difficult as possible, because you're an assassin, right? You should be able to fight, that is true, but you should always your priority should always to be to maintain stealth, and that is what Assassin's Creed 1 did so well, right? Because as soon as you get into combat, it becomes so overwhelming and annoying that you just need to run away and just regroup and then start it over again. You can do it in the whole thing in combat, that's fine, but it feels more worth it when you play it in stealth. That's what I want them to ace here.
Basim feels different from Eivor. The focus on one main weapon, his sword, allowed us to put all of our intention into developing an agile character who is intuitive to control. Of course, that also means that the combat will come with bigger challenges, higher stakes, and a greater reliance on tools to escape tricky situations. From his story to his appearance,
that's what I want them to do. Make combat very difficult.
Basim as a fresh twist on the classic assassin archetype.
We hope you are as excited as we are to take the first steps on Basim's journey.
All right, like, my final thoughts on this is, like, they're creating a bit of hype around the game, which is fine. This is what game companies are supposed to do as they're closing to release. But I I know a lot of people are excited about this game, excited about them going back to the roots, excited about them making this as close to Assassin's Creed as one as possible. You know, reliving the glorious days of Altair, which is fine. I wouldn't mind as well. But we need to be careful, which is, like, we just need to, like, let's not jump the gun, right? I just need, as soon as this game comes out, right? I'm pretty sure a few people, like, are gonna get it, but I'm not super sold on this yet, because I've been super sold on so many Ubisoft games, and they have been such a letdown over again and again and again. Like, prime examples are like Watchdog, like the very first Watchdog, which I was so hyped, and boy, couldn't I be so wrong about it. And what other games? Assassin's Creed, Odyssey. I mean, man, yeah. So I mean, numerous occasions. So I just want to be very careful about this, and just I just want to, like, wait and give this game a fair chance, and just want to see what it turns out to be, because it has the potential, right? This has a good potential of being a really good game, because Assassin's Creed way back then, it used to be really good contenders for game of the year, and it has fallen off that arc for quite a while now. And I want them to go back to those days when an Assassin's Creed game could compete for game of the year, because the story and narrative was so good, and that is what matters. So if they are focusing a lot on the story, as they're saying, and if they, gameplay wise, if they are focusing on rewarding stealth and punishing for getting into combat, then I can see this becoming something it can take a shape of its own, right? It's got its own formula. So this is the Assassin's Creed formula. This is what it should be. So yeah, I mean, like, that's all. That's all they had to show, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Because let me know if you guys are excited for this game. I am excited to know what's next for because I stopped following Assassin's Creed some time back, right after Odyssey. Like Odyssey, as soon as like I finished the game, and I was so like unexcited about like what I had played, what I had witnessed. The DLCs were like so tragic, like them exploring all this like the Greek gods and all that stuff in Odyssey, which made no sense because Assassin's Creed, the relationship between that and gods and stuff like that, it was so confusing. Like is this what is this game at this point? Like, is it? It had something to do with this ancient civilization, but is it more like sci-fi, or is it more like sci-fi fantasy, or is it action adventure? It's confusing. Like, what direction are they trying to go in, right? Is it open world? Is it story driven? Is it linear? Like they were just doing. The game was going in so many different places, right? So they had a few good games which peaked at the right times. One, two, Brotherhood, Revelations, Black Flag, and what was the other one? Origins, the one in Egypt. Yes, those came around the right time. Revived the series. So I'm hoping Mirage can do the same, because Valhalla, in my opinion, like like as a fan of the series who wants it to be solely about assassinations, right? Like, to properly function as an Assassin's Creed game, as not just an open world game where you can just go hack and slash and get your way through. Like, I mean, there are plenty of games which you can do that, right? So I just want something this thing to be unique. So yeah, I mean, like, if you guys enjoy my video, do like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're guys are excited for the game, what would you like to see in this game? Oh yeah, and I forgot to talk about what was that thing they called the assassin, the one which could take down multiple targets. I honestly think if they have the time, they should just get rid of it. As an assassin, you don't need an ability like that. It looks very supernatural. It looks so out of place for some reason. I mean, like, if that ability was tweaked in such a way where he actually does not TP or teleport or instant dash or whatever it is he's doing there to the targets, more like he's jumping, running around, jumping over obstacles, or like they do some, I don't know, like it's just so out of place. That's my opinion. So I almost forgot to address that assassin, whatever that ability is, where you can take down multiple characters in one swift go. So it's a clear copy from that mechanic in mark and target, mark and execute mechanic from Splinter Cell. That is exactly what it is. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, like what you feel about the game. So yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.